Hello and welcome to Head and Shoulders, where we share athletic performances, athletes, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. And if you're wondering about otherwise, that could cover coaches, that could be maybe track and field stadiums. I got an idea for one, but I'm not going to share that one because that might be for the different track league or it might be for a special occasion. I already priced it out. It's going to cost $13.5 million at the minimum to build it. So, and it's going to be more than one 400-meter track in the same location. But anyway, let's get back to the subject. But before we cover this about Dina Asher-Smith, hit us a like, comment, subscribe. We're looking for over 1,000 subscribers by the end of July. So I know that's a big goal, but we're already over 120, I think, maybe 119. I got to look at the channel, but we're over 100 subscribers already, and this will be our 5th video. So let's cover Dina Asher-Smith on the road to Tokyo 2021, or as the Olympic channel still has it, as Tokyo 2020. I think from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense to keep saying Tokyo 2020. Plus, you already printed out the shirts and everything. What the heck? My computer will restart. Hold on. Postpone. All right. Can't have that restarting right now when we're recording this. All right. So Dina Asher-Smith, I'm going to do a series called The Makings of a Champion. And I think she's going to be one of the athletes that's covered there. But for now, we're just going to do this. We're also going to come out with a profile. What do you all think? I'm going to grade athletes over 5 skill sets. I think it's going to be a scale of 1 to 5. It might be a 1 to 10 just because we might need other numbers and everything covered in there. But it's going to grade people on consistency, performance, as in their time compared to both the best time of all time and the athletes that are currently competing. And then we might have coaches. I'm trying to determine the other one because it might be 4, but coaches is the wild card thing, because some coaches, they can just get you better, but it might just include coaches / country, because places like the United States typically run their athletes closer, running them to the ground, especially when they're younger. But places like Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the UK, they essentially cultivate their athletes. And places like Jamaica, they don't run the athletes as much, and so on and so forth. There just depends. Even in the distance races, if you're looking at Kenya and Ethiopia, Ethiopian athletes don't compete as often as Kenyan athletes, but then Kenyan athletes also have a bunch of athletes that are on that top list, but only a handful, like literally 3, can make it to a championship. So then that can determine how things are ranked too. Because right now in the 100 meters, there are so many American athletes and only 3 spots can make it, and then 3 more for the 4x1. So 6 athletes total. So it's so many different things. Oh, and then the last thing is, depending on the country, they have a selection process, versus in the Americas, at least in the Americas, those countries are more likely to have a kind of like a winner take all. Hey, you finish first, second, or third, that's the place you're going. Versus Great Britain, she might blow up at her championship, but Dina Asher-Smith, her spot is secure to go to the Olympics. She's got the time, she got everything, but the chances of them not sending her are low. Whereas they might even not send a world record holder, which I believe they did once or twice to the Olympics or the World Championships, and it's like, what? And so that can happen. But anyway, with that being said, we got Dina Asher-Smith here. She is a very, very consistent athlete. And in my personal opinion, she has a better chance of medaling and winning in the 200-meter dash than she does in the 100. But we're going to cover her on the 100 primarily here, but then we're going to go over the 200 a little bit. So here are her personal bests. She ran a personal best in the Khalifa International Stadium in Doha, 2019. We can see her results right here. Let's go back to 2019, way back in Qatar. And here she ran her personal best, finishing second to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce when she ran that 1071. Not too shabby with this 1083. That is quick. She's got the jets on her. And she is a consistent performer because she typically, I would rate her as a consistent sub 11 athlete. Even looking at her past times in 2019, I'd look at her as a consistent sub 9.5 or 10.95 athlete. She's right around that 10.9 mid area. Now, going back to her personal best, 1083. We're going to ignore the 150. 2188. If I'm not mistaken, she has the best personal best out of the top 8, maybe top 10 athletes in the 100 over her 200. So she's a stronger athlete than the other athletes, the other women in that top list. Let me see if I am incorrect. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce might actually be faster than that. Nope. 2209. We can go back over this list and actually cover that. Let's go back here to Stat Zone. This is where you find it on the World Athletics website. We're going to go through this. That's why I can't wait to have it live, because we're going to be going over these live like this. Women's 100. This is where we can confirm if I am correct or incorrect on the fly. 22 flat. Elaine Thompson is going to be the last one I'm going to check, because I don't want to make this one long. This is about Dina Asher-Smith. Okay, so all I needed to know is one. So she's got a faster 200 time than most of them. Most of that top 10 list. And that's one thing I am confident in. But going back to Dina Asher-Smith right here, she's a strong athlete. She's pretty consistent. Her form stays good. The only poor performance I have noticed from her was when she couldn't finish, and that was in 2014. And she had pulled up with a hamstring injury, but she was obviously much younger in 2014. So, but anything since then, she has done pretty well. Now, she did see a sports psychiatrist when COVID-19 happened and they canceled the Olympic Games, or at least postponed the Olympic Games. She winded up going to a sports psychiatrist, and her reasoning, I'm trying to see if I have that article in the background. No, I do not. Her reasoning for it, from what I read, was to make sure that everything is good. She said she has been going for 5 years in a row. She had been just, going in track and field and going hard. And so she needed to make sure that she was taken care of. And this was also in line around when she was talking about why she doesn't bring up Black Lives Matter or the other issues of race. And she brought it up saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to argue about a person's existence of a reality that's happening. So basically saying, yeah, this stuff is serious. I don't want to argue about it, because that's all they wanted to talk about. And they wanted me to argue about that. And I don't want to argue about it. I can argue a red light, a green light, or whatever color a stoplight should be, but I don't want to argue about a person's existence. And so she said she stayed away from that because that would have been basically too much drama. And so she basically was fighting with that internally too, because of the realities of what she has to face on an everyday basis, and about what that means about her having a platform. Does that mean a person has an obligation to bring up something because they're on a platform? Maybe, maybe not. And that's what she was talking about. But back to this about her time, she's consistent. Look at her results from this year. She's getting faster each and every meet. She's only run a few times as far as the 100. And really, she only had one good 100-meter race because Gateshead was windy and rainy. So the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken, it was cool over in Hengelo. So this is a cool time. 0.8 tailwind, so fair, and she ran a 10.92. If I had to place her where I think that she would get, she's racing for second. The overwhelming favorite based on the history, and this is where I am going to do that ranking system. It's going to come out before the championships for sure. But based on her history, her consistency, and what she can do, she'd be racing. I mean, she already finished second to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce before. She performed at the championships. She knows how to perform. So it wouldn't be a surprise. Now, of course, in her mind, she'll be racing for the gold. And I wouldn't expect anything less than any of these top athletes on this list. She's put herself in, and she's only had these 3 races, if you include the prelims, but if you include only the finals here, right? She's had 2 100-meter races, and she's got herself tied for the top 8 spots. Let her get another 2 or 3 under her belt, and I can see her in that top 1085, 1084 range and near her PR. She'll be right up in this spot. Obviously, that's assuming that nobody else changes spots and these things don't like change up that much. But I think she's got Blessing Akabari beat. If it comes down to it, Natasha Morrison is going to be beat by Dina Asher-Smith. Elaine Thompson is still struggling with and nursing that injury. So it just really depends on what happens in this final. And because it's an Olympics, I can see Elaine Thompson. Her coach and her are really taking care of her. So she's been able to run that sub 10.8. So that's good. But when it comes to this final, when it comes to championships, and when it comes to Great Britain, that's one thing I got to factor in here. I got to factor in the athlete, the country, the coach, right? She's both consistent. She comes from a country that nurses and cultivates athletes and grows them, and her coach. So with her being at the top of the line here, I'm going to say that she's a solid silver medal contender. I know that I brought up Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Richardson, and Elaine Thompson as those top spots right there. And Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, I'm just going to lock her down for gold. It's her Olympics to lose. That's what this is. It's her Olympics to lose. Everybody else is racing for the other spots. I know that the individual athletes are going to come there expecting gold. I would come up to the line. I don't care if I were in their spot. I don't care if I was ranked number 43 and I had the qualifying time, even though I don't think this is qualifying time, and I had the qualifying time. Okay, let's have the bare minimum. Let's say that I was number 19 right here, and somehow through whatever, I made it to the championships. I made it through the prelims and semis, and I made it to the final, right? In each one of those, I'm just trying to make it to the next round because I got a chance. Okay, I need to make it to the next round so that I can win. Once I'm up there lined against the other women, and in my case, the guys, but if I'm pretending I'm a woman for instance, if I'm a woman racing up against the other woman, every single one of these athletes should be there racing to win. And I would be surprised if they weren't, right? So, because who knows, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce pulls up, Richardson pulls up, Elaine Thompson doesn't perform because of injury, Morrison has an average race or whatever. So many things can happen. Yeah, they don't seem like they're likely, but remember Michael Johnson and Maurice Green, when they were in the trials for the U.S. in the 200, both of them pulled up. Both of them pulled up, which then opened the door for different athletes to come in. We got 2 athletes, 2 top athletes pulling up, and they took a huge L. Now, if that pause that just happened there, I had to actually pause this recording because some crazy stuff at this hotel were happening in the background, and yeah, I had to deal with that. But yeah, so what do you all think? Where do you think that Dina Asher-Smith is likely to finish? In all honesty, I see her as a solid silver medal pick. And the reason why I'm putting her ahead of Sha'Carri Richardson and Elaine Thompson is solid. The bronze medal is up for grabs. And really the silver medal is up for grabs, but I'm gonna put her a 6 out of 10 chance of getting that silver medal. And the reason being is because of her history. The same thing I'm gonna do for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, except Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce also has the current time to back it up, whereas Richardson and Elaine Thompson have that time over her. Dina Asher-Smith knows how to run championship races. She continues to improve season after season. Let's go here for her progression. We can see it on her progression right here. Going back from 2009, and each season, she gets better and better and better. Now, here's one exception here, and actually two, because she got 10.99. This one winded up being up against a headwind right here. But aside from this, she is pretty consistent about getting better and better each season. Now, she did only knock off 0.02 on there. And this is a type of thing that you would expect to see once an athlete starts to get there. She's starting to plateau and peak, and then she has a breakthrough performance, quote unquote breakthrough performance. But she's getting better and better every season. And this is a little bit of hyperbole, quote unquote, you know, every. But just look at the progression here. It is a smooth line. If you put this on a graph, it would be the time going down. You would go from left to right over here. Too bad I don't have that. Let me put the whiteboard on there. All right. So we're still here. So yeah, so that we do have this whiteboard. That's what you would see her line as. Her times, as time goes on, here are slower times, here are faster times. Here's, get out of the way, freaking ad. Here are the past, and here's the present. You would see this as smoothed out, but of course we would see it like this, and then maybe some of these as it kind of even goes up. But smooth out, we would expect to see something that looks like this, and that is what Dina Asher-Smith looks at. I think I'll start discussing track and field and performances like that too, because this progression, if we were to input this into a chart, I'm a mathematics background as well, so and can do calculus in my head. So on the nerdy part of that, I would like to put it here. We talk about the stats on this one. But Dina Asher-Smith, solid silver medal, potential bronze, because she is facing up against fast athletes. I would be surprised if she doesn't get a medal. I'll put it that way, which then means one of our favorite athletes, I put that in quotes, our favorite athletes, will not get a medal. And every year, I would like to see so many athletes. Me personally, I like to see Okabari get a medal, because Nigeria should, based on his past, where some of the blacks that have been placed in different countries, without saying, you know what we're talking about, that would have come from West Africa for a large majority of the black people, right? I would think that Ghana, Nigeria, and some more on the West African coast could represent themselves. You've seen Nigeria show up in the 4x1 and 4x4 in the past. So it would be nice to see a Nigerian athlete medal. They do not have a single medal on the women's side in the 100 at the World Championships or the Olympics. And I just looked at this yesterday as I was recording this video, then decided to delete it. So I would personally like to see that. Who do you all personally see as your top 3 medal picks? Can you drop that in the comment section if you're watching this far into the video? Tell me your gold, silver, and bronze medal pick, because right now I'm looking at Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce as a for sure gold. If she doesn't get a gold, this is hers to lose. And while she is at an older age than most of the athletes she's competing against, that she's likely to compete against, Okabari is right around her age. I would say that yes, you could expect her to potentially have a misfire, because as you get older, you might still have that speed in there, but it's less likely to come out. That's what it would be versus never coming out. And as we see, athletes can get up to an older age. Michael Johnson breaking the world record at almost 32, 31 years and 11 months. For those people that like to hate in the comment section saying, oh, 34-year-old can't do it. Show me in the past where athletes, not just the world record breakers, right? Tell me, show me where some of the fastest athletes in the world in that top 10 spot. I'm gonna put it even there. The top 10 spot in the world where you don't see some 34, 35, 36-year-olds in there, even 38-year-olds occasionally. That happens. That's just somebody that doesn't pay attention to track and field or look at that. Because look, if you think about it, that's going to be a different one. We're going to talk about, can athletes run fast in an older age? And that's going to be another topic. Stay tuned for the next one. I don't want to get off topic here. This has been Dina Asher-Smith. I think she has a solid silver medal contention. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce with the gold. And then it's shaky. But if I had to be pressured, I put it with, oh, shoot, I can't say. I'd like to see Okabari there personally. But if it came to mathematics and I was just a bet man and I put money on this, shoot, I'm looking at Morrison because of Lane Thompson with the injury problems that she's had. And then Richardson. I'm gonna put Richardson as the bronze. Richardson is either silver or bronze. But if I already gave it to Dina Asher-Smith, I'm giving that bronze to Richardson. So that's why I have it. If you guys disagree, definitely let me know in the comment section. Tell me who your gold, silver, and bronze medal winners are, and then the outside chances where you think this could be the spoiler. Because I'd be surprised if Okabari, given her recent performances here, I'd be surprised if she can get out a medal, because what's happened is her performances are going the other way, and that's a little bit unfortunate right now. And I would like to see her keep decreasing her times or running near her best time of the season right now, but it's not going out that way. So, but yeah, catch you all on the next one where we cover the next athletes head and shoulders above the rest. And we're going to give an athletic profile. Can athletes still run fast at older ages?